That's right, we are going to go over 4 lessons that Factory Floor taught me about music production. Slanjavan music producers, you're tuned into Whiskey and Synths, the programme that kind of blends whiskey drinking with music making. So I hope you're all good. I'm feeling good today. I'm a bit star-spangled, been outside in the sun too long. But maybe too much whiskey as well. But today, yeah, we're looking at Factory Floor. They're an amazing duo, were a trio previously, might be getting back together as a trio, and they make kind of minimal kind of dance music, but it's quite arty and abstract as well. Oh, they're just so cool. They're signed to DFA, one of my favourite labels. Love them. And we're going to go kind of video style, podcast style, just chatting about some of their tips, some of their things they've shared in interviews. Hopefully you're an intermediate or kind of advanced music producer who can just take these lessons, put them into your own music and enjoy this wee video just chatting about them. Let's get into it. So the first lesson they taught me about music production was on simplicity in music, kind of on getting that kind of raw, simple ingredients, but they sound amazing. So there's a good quote. Gabe said, one thing I've noticed when DJs are playing out is the simpler the track, the more effective it is. So I think we were content in keeping the album really basic and hold of that mindset. And he's like, that's why I don't really enjoy doing off-kilter drum beats, because I don't think you need to try and fix what isn't broken. It's a very instinctive thing, the 4/4 dance rhythm. So it's there, it's solid, it makes people dance. So working on top of that is the exciting bit, because you've almost got a boundary to work in. So for this album, or their previous album, they kept things quite simple beats wise and maybe done more innovation with the synths and stuff. But they did originally their you could say their debut record was a little bit more like wonky, a little bit more kind of approach like a band, because they play instruments, all of them as well. But this one, they kind of got booked to play loads of clubs and that. And I guess that experience of playing loads of clubs, they're like, well, we want to start making music that works in clubs. So if you want sort of that simplicity and you want to make music that makes people move, you need that simplicity in it. Even like funk music can be quite textured and layered, same with disco. But I've heard famous funk artists and disco artists say the groove is in the space between the notes, the space between the notes. So that simplicity allows space in your mix and allows that feeling of groove to go in, rather than if it was just layer upon layer upon layer things. So if your aim is to make people dance, then definitely simplicity is important. And Nick in the band also had something to say about that. It was quite cool when they recorded the album. Rather than record through studio monitors, they set up in a kind of warehouse space through a giant PA, like, kind of like you'd find in a club. And that's how they made the record, which I think is so cool. Like, it's quite, if you're going to make a record for a club, why not make it in a kind of club environment? Which is pretty original. So I don't know if they mixed it in that environment, but they definitely created it in that environment. And Nick said that setup captures the changes. There aren't many changes in Factory 4's music, but when there is a change, it's quite an important thing. It's quite a hard thing for us to do, because I hate changes and Gabe loves changes. So the fact we have a difference opinion on those things works out well. We rely on both going against each other and being in sync with each other. So, and we'll touch more on their collaboration later. And the takeaway from that quote, I think, is still simplicity. Nick's going on about the changes and trying to keep it simple and repeating and looping. But obviously you do need some changes in your arrangement. So they're chatting about that. So yeah, I think a couple of little takeaways from those points. Basically, if you want dance music, make people move about and kind of dance in a club or whatever, simplicity is really important. And secondly, if you want to make a record from a club, why not try making it in a different environment to your bedroom studio? Not everyone's got that opportunity, but you could make mates with someone who runs a local venue or something. In the daytime they're always closed. Who knows? You might get a chance to do that yourself. Maybe give it a go. It'd be quite a cool experience, I think. So the second lesson I learned from Factory Floor was always tweaking the sounds and always manipulating them. So if you've got kind of loopy music that doesn't change that much, you need other things in it to be kind of shifting and moving to keep interest in your music for the human ear. So he said, Gabe was like, we treat our drum machines and synthesizers in the same way we treat playing live instruments. We're always manipulating them. So you might not have a big live setup of drum machines and synths, but if you're using a DAW, you need loads of automation, which you can draw in by hand, or you can even record the movement of your mouse in Ableton doing automation, or even better, you can use like a MIDI controller or something to record in your automation too. So that whole thing of being everything moving and tweaking is really important. And if you can even drop like LFOs on things and kind of patch the LFO to the say the filter, the classic, or the pitch, and just make these things move. Because if you've got static loops all the way through your arrangement, it's never going to be fully like feeling like a professional or kind of satisfying track. So I definitely recommend that. If you are struggling getting your track to be kind of sounding as professional or satisfying as you want, I've actually got a challenge for you. It's my Finish That Damn Track challenge. It's like a 10-day, 10-step challenge to get your track finished and self-mastered and considered for release on our label, Tonic Note Records, that's been going for 7 years now. So if that sounds good to you, you just need to put in about 30 minutes a day, so probably not more than you're doing already on your music production. I just help you use that time more productively. You just get an email from me every day with a little cheat sheet, and you just do this thing, and then by the end of those 10 days, you've got a finished track. But I only have 5 of those challenge spaces open a week, so click below if you want to join the music production challenge. You'll finish that damn track. Loads of producers have been through it already and loving it and got results from it, so I'm hoping you'll enjoy it too. Right, let's get back to our third thing from Factory 4. So the third thing from Factory 4 is quite interesting. Nick was talking about the risks being a good thing, you know, things being able to go wrong being a good thing, and kind of being in the moment being a good thing, which is not where everyone is most comfortable, I'm aware. So Nick said, becoming self-aware fogs everything. She continues, off stage, I'm methodological to a degree I would call boring, taking chances on stage and jumping into situations that aren't familiar. I'm guessing she means maybe collaborations or locations or studios or stuff like that. Helps push my ideas forward. It's the only time I can let go and stop the worry. So I think that's a well interesting quote, because self-doubt and kind of overthinking things is a big part of what music producers are. We're well known for it. So trying to get over that's really important. So maybe developing a live show, getting out there playing live, or doing a live stream, or just some, or even if you don't have an audience, just doing it yourself. Like if you're, and even if you've just got Ableton, try and like line up some clips and scenes and just triggering them and manipulating and record that into the arrangement. And sometimes you'll surprise yourself with how cool that can turn out. So whether you're just in a DAW like Ableton, or you're using like synths, drum machines, or real instruments, that kind of being in the moment, almost playing it, is really important, and it gets you past that overthinking kind of engineer sort of mindset, which can actually, it's a good thing to have sometimes, but it can actually bring you down sometimes. Nick also said, when we play live now, we're still using a certain amount of gear. It's like we have no idea if it's going to work sometimes, and I'm playing modular stuff. I don't know if I'm going to blow up the speaker because of the frequency. So there's still a shambolic element compared to using our tools live. And she said that compared to the setup used to be, I didn't think that it was exciting to watch anymore, which isn't a problem because I don't really like being watched. We heads down in our electronics. So yeah, I think kind of maybe treating yourself to a little kind of hardware thing or MIDI controller, just anything that can get you out of your head and actually playing, performing, touching, being tactile. And St. Vincent talked about that on the video we looked at St. Vincent on, so you might like that as well. Let's get into the next tip and final tip of this thing from Factory 4. We're going about contrast in collaboration. So Nick said, yeah, Gabe, he likes drops. He likes cheese and I like sophisticated stuff. And Gabe was like, it is true though. I think that's why it works well. That's what Factory 4 is, in the middle of those two things. So whether you love working solo and just have to find those two different sides of your personality, or maybe a collaboration is worth trying, even with people you think might not be as suitable. or into the same things, it can actually push music in a different way that you might not expect. So I think it's worth reaching out to collaborators or maybe doing remixes for people or anything like that. You'll learn a lot along the way, and you could end up with music that's better than if you just made it yourself, maybe. So it's always like a risk, but we talked about how risk in this podcast is actually a good thing for your music making as well. So yeah, that is your 4 lessons Factory Floor taught me about music production. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing this time with you today. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this, there's more videos on the channel about famous artists. So if you like this, give it a wee subscribe. Comment below with who you want me to feature in future music production videos like this. And like I said, if you're struggling with your own music production, remember, click below for that Finish That Damn Track challenge. I'm sure you'll love it. 10 days, 10 steps, 1 finished track considered for release on Tonic Note Records, our label. And like I said, only 5 spaces a week available for that. So if you want to jump on that challenge, jump in. And I'm at the end of the email, so you can even email me back. And I even sometimes do one-to-one free Zoom sessions with people to help them out along the way as well. So if this sounds good to you, get some extra help with your music production for free, give me a shout. Click below, I want to hear from you. But thanks for watching. Maybe turn off the old YouTube now and maybe go out and enjoy your life, or open up Ableton and start making some music. All right. And if you got this far in the podcast, thanks. I think this, I don't know if it's one of my best ones. Like I said, it's feeling like end of summer. I'm just feeling a bit dazed. Been doing a lot today, walking about in the sun. Had a massive coffee before this one to try and wake me up. Well, hopefully you've got something from it, and I appreciate you guys tuning in, everybody. And remember, in Scotland, people say guys for everyone. So, you know, whoever you are, guys means everyone. So, yeah, not maybe I should stop saying that. But it's sound. I'm going to shut up, leave you to it. Catch you later. Peace. Thanks. Enjoy your whiskey, enjoy your synths. Let's run the credits. Bye.
Whiskey.